Greetings, hi, TheWarOwl greets you, and welcome to Matchmaking Academy, where you are the star for all the wrong reasons, but don't worry, we are going to figure out what those reasons are and help you improve at Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Our hero today is Lot. He is a DMG player. Dots here. His favorite fish is Magikarp because of its potential. And that shows a lot about a person. You see the good in people. You see the possibilities that a young child could grow up to be president. Lot, oh my gosh, what a noob. I'm a counter-terrorist and I want to play mid on the pistol round. Since Lot is a DMG player, we're going to go a little bit more in depth on some things. So, he was playing here at middle, had his crosshair aimed around here, and the reason he died at its core was his positioning. So, a terrorist came around the corner right there. He's got no cover. If you watched our perspective tutorial, you'll have an idea of how to set up cover at 2 corners. So even if he was able to grab a crazy Hiko shot and flick that player and take him down, he was probably going to die anyway because there was probably another terrorist coming around the corner as well if the T's knew what they were doing in order to trade at this position. So how could this have been avoided? How could he have played a little bit better and been in a better position? So I think what he was trying to do here at middle is watch this position right here. If we look at our angles, the corner that's on his side is this one, the corner on their side is this one. So this is actually a nice spot to sit right here. You can get a dink, you get intel on those players coming up bottom of banana, you get important information from your teammate. However, the one thing you have to consider here, and we have to talk a little bit about timing and game sense and how he screwed up. So the timing is, when can a terrorist come up here from alternate middle and be in a position to pick him? When does he have to switch and worry about this corner instead of just that corner? If you worry about this corner, he has to grab this corner and that corner right here, see? Right around from this angle here. He can also keep peeking down here if he's at this corner, but really, if you're playing the archway position, you don't want to be on this side of middle. You want to be over on this side because it's going to be a difficult cross. You need to have a smoke. It's pistol round. There's no other smoke. So when should he fall back and take a different angle right here and do sort of a tiered approach? When I say tiered approach, I'm talking like he moves out here, he's holding that corner right there for a bit, gets that information, falls back to this one, stuff happens, he can fall back over here, he can even hide in the corner here and hold this one. Then if stuff happens here, he falls back, he can hold this one, he can even rotate back, hold this one now, just the whole way back. Really nice way to play, but how do you know when to move back? Game sense. He could hear the players coming up alternate middle. If he heard those players, he should have immediately given up this position and fallen back to this position. The other thing is timing. So let's talk a little bit about the timing. When can the terrorists be in a position to peek middle from alternate middle? Let's get a sense of the timing right now. We're going to run with our knife out. We saw the timer start at 9 minutes and 10 seconds. And we're going to run up here at alternate middle and keep an idea of it. So that's 10, 11, 12, 13, about 13 or 14 seconds. So at about the 12 second, probably the 10 second mark, he's probably done in this position and needs to rotate back. So let's see how long it takes him to get there. So we started at the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. So that's 8 seconds to get here. He's got about 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And then he has to fall back right here. You have to sort of get a sense of that timing. And you'll really only gain that by playing over and over again. Nobody really keeps track of the exact seconds. You pretty much develop over time playing and just thinking about it a sense of when players can be at certain positions. Now here's another opportunity to talk about positioning here. Lot, he's been playing sort of a support role on the T side. We see his flash works perfectly on that player at middle. He moves up mid, checks the angles, he's doing it solo, he smoked the left side, and just check out his positioning right here. Just gets destroyed. So let's hop in game and talk about that a little bit. There was a lot going on there in that short little clip that we showed. The first thing we have to note is that his teammates were pushing up banana. So his player role in this situation was the lurk. His job is twofold. 1, prevent players from rotating. That's make some noise, put some pressure on over here at A, prevent them from putting all their players over at B. And number 2, picking rotators. So one thing sometimes these lurk players will do is just hold an angle like this or sit back here and kill players who are trying to rotate. He took the noisy approach, which is probably the right decision in this situation, and it did work. He did his job. He kept the player at middle. So let's look at everything he did, like step by step. First thing he did was throw this flash to flash middle. It kind of hit the side of this thing, it bounced over, and boom, it worked. And it seemed like he was using that flash in order to throw this smoke. So he kind of lines up here and threw the smoke over the side and smoked out the left side. I hold that he should be able to throw a smoke without showing himself here at middle and putting himself out in the open. I mean, he can kind of just throw it from back here and accomplish the same thing. He didn't have to waste that flash. I think he should have smoked first, then flashed. And after the flash goes off, since it did work, then he can creep up here. Now, normally when you're peeking middle like this, you want to do it with a teammate. You got one guy watching the left side here to hold that angle, and one guy holding the right side. So one creeps up the right and watches the left. One creeps up the left and watches the right. But of course, he didn't have any teammates. He was doing this solo. So smoking the left side, flashing over as he goes out here, made perfect sense. Now he can creep up, check the left side where the smoke is, know the player's not pushing him through it, then he can watch this side. His positioning, he was way out here in the open. He was watching kind of at the left side. He left himself open for a player pushing through the smoke. Just because you throw a smoke down doesn't mean that a player's not going to push through it. And the shotgun player made the right call. That was actually really smart of him. Push through the smoke and watch this close. So just a little bit on his positioning. Another important thing for Lot to keep in mind as he's creeping up middle here is don't turn around, or you'll turn into a pillar of salt. Ha! Name joke. Get it? Big thanks to Lot for sending in the demo so we can learn from it, so we can improve, so we can grow together in our Counter-Strike-ness. Whatever. Let's get an owl vision. I'm TheWarOwl, and I still have no closer. Except for this one. Get it? Cause Lot's wife turned around and she turned into like PJ Salt. It was like, why are you so salty, woman? I don't even know.